Welcome to a new video. We are back on the bank and today we are doing a bit of day ticket carping. We've come up to a mega pit in the Cotswolds and we're going to try and see if we can put one on a bank for you, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. We're at the lovely Hawcott Lake, a place that Shaun's done absolutely loads of time. I've done a bit of time. Well, you have really, haven't you? But yeah, always fish showing. But yeah, no, I've done a little bit of time, but it's been a little while since I put a fish on the bank, so that would be absolutely lovely. But it is about sort of 5:30, probably 6 o'clock by now. It's time to get some rods out and get fishing, mate.
Definitely, mate. Let's have a go and see if we can have one.
Come on.
So the rods are all out and we are fishing. The sun is going down. Hugh's just trying to get some shots of it because it's absolutely mega. It looks really nice out there. I won't be able to get it on this camera because it'll end up overexposing and it'll just be a whiteout. But it is looking really nice out there. The rods are all fishing. We are fishing at a pretty decent range, to be fair, sort of towards the extremities of the swim sort of boundary. And the reason for that is the fish have been showing out in the middle. There's quite a few fish showing out there. I'm actually pretty confident, we're both feeling pretty good that the fish are actually in that zone. It's not too busy today, so we've actually been able to get relatively close to where they've been showing. I think I'm fishing about 29 wraps, Hugh's about 27, so we are fishing sort of quite far out into the pond. It took a little bit of getting used to spodding at that range again, because I've not done that kind of distance for a while. So the first couple of spods were a bit off, but then we started hitting the clip and getting it on the money. So there's a good sort of 10 spods out there on the money for both of us. And yeah, all three rods tram lining out to it. So I'm really happy with how it's gone. I think Hugh's pretty happy with it as well. So we're feeling pretty confident going into the night. So anyway, it's time to have a bit of grub. So let's go and get the stove out, let's put some food on, have a bit of food and crack open a tin of cider. Bring on the carp.
Well, we've had a bit of food and a few tinnies and a bit of a chinwag, but it's definitely feeling a little bit fresh tonight. There ain't much cloud cover, so yeah, compared to the daytime temperatures, it's yeah, I'm shivering a bit, so yeah, definitely feeling the cold, but feeling confident tonight, mate.
I am, yeah, even though that temperature has dropped off quite a bit, I am actually pretty confident. The fish is still quite active and showing, and I think we've done a good job of getting some rods out in the zone. Kind of the baiting didn't go perfect, but enough went on the money, and I am pretty happy with how it's gone, to be fair. The rods are absolutely tram lining out to the spot, so nice and accurate. So yeah, I'm feeling confident, mate. I think you are as well, aren't you, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm predicting sort of early morning, or hoping for an early morning bite, 5-6 o'clock. Had a good night's sleep, and then yeah, a 30-pounder. So that's what I'm hoping for, mate.
Sounds like a plan, that, mate.
Right, well, I need to get in the bag because I am shivering.
All right then.
And yeah, struggling. So good night.
Night, mate.
Good night.
Have a good sleep. I'm going to go crack open another tin. Why not?
so unfortunately it is a coffee update this morning. A really quiet night for both of us. Shaun's still asleep, so I'm trying to talk quite quietly out of respect, but yeah, I can see his landing net hasn't moved an inch. But yeah, I'm absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest. It felt really good going into last night. We didn't just say it for the video. Yeah, we were really confident. Like, I thought we were going to have a couple each, even potentially at least a fish between us, but yeah, it just hasn't seemed to happen. Now I've woken up this morning, there is a couple of fish sort of showing out in front of Shaun, a little bit shorter, so I'm going to wake him up in a minute and let him know that. Now I'm going to slurp down a couple more coffees, have a little bit of breakfast, and start scratching the head to see if we can think of plan B of how to put one of these lovely carp on the mat on one of these little overnight sessions.
Well, bit of an update for you then. So Hugh's feeling a little bit wounded. His left hand rod had just pulled up tight, pinged out the clip and started to trundle. He's picked up the rod, and not long after making contact with the fish, the line has fallen slack. So unfortunately it looks like he's been cut off, which is quite surprising because we're not aware of any snags or anything in the lake, especially in this swim. So yeah, really gutting, to be honest. And I'm doing the update because he is feeling a little bit wounded. He's sat over there at the moment, sort of redoing it and getting everything sorted to get that rod back out. But yeah, definitely not the way you want a bite to end, is it? But at least he's had a bite. It's a sign that the fish could be out in that area now on that spot, so there's a chance to have another one. I've seen some fish showing shorter range, and I've just whizzed in the left hand rod and just flicked it out shorter. I'm not too sure if it's presented that well because it is quite weedy. I had a bit of a soft drop, so it might have fell in the weed, but I've got a lovely little balanced pop up on the Ronnie, so it will potentially sit above the weed just as long as it's not too deep. But I'm going to leave it out there for maybe half an hour, and if it doesn't go, I'm going to bring it in and put a zig out, so I know obviously that's going to be a lot higher up and probably presented a lot better. But yeah, the wind is coming straight into here. Feels a little bit fresh at the moment, but we're fishing quite long, and obviously that spot Hugh's had that fish off is obviously out long, so it might be that the fish are on the back of it a bit more, and maybe they are having a bit of a grub around. So hopefully there is a chance of a bite off the spots again, but I'm definitely gonna, I think, put a zig out if that doesn't go in the next sort of half hour and try and make something happen on that rod. But we've got 2 or 3 hours of fishing this morning before we're probably gonna have to shoot home, so got time to try and have one. So hopefully we can get paid back for that loss and get a fish on the bank. So we'll see how it goes, but it's looking positive. We've had a bite, there's fish out there showing, so we're on them. Just got to hope they want to play ball now.
Well, just while Hugh's getting that rod rigged up and back out onto the spot, I thought I'd talk about bait, as we haven't really touched on it in this video, and it is something that people like to know about. Now, we have been trying something a bit different recently, so I thought I'd just touch on that quickly. Now, just to start off with, our main mix that we're using, and we're both pretty much going in with the same thing, is basically sort of 50-50 S7 and bug boilies. We're using them in 8mm and also in dumbbells and some of the 15mm round boilies as well. To that, we're also using some pellet, so we've got a mix of S7 and bug pellets, which are like a 4mm pellet flavoured in and matching sort of boilie flavours. We've also got some of the Maxi Cray mix in there as well, which is a very potent mix of different sort of sizes of pellet, which really gets the fish grubbing about. Additional to that, we're also adding a bit of hemp in there, and also a flash of colour with some sweet corn. So that is the main sort of bulk of the mix that we're both using. Now, something different that Hugh is doing, and he actually tried this on a session recently on Thorny Weir and caught a bonus fish when I actually blanked, and that is he is adding chopped worm into the mix. Now, chopped worm is something that has been used for years, but it's become very, very popular recently, and it's something that he's been adding into the mix to try and see if it gets him those bonus bites. And so far, it seems to be working. He had a bonus bite on Thorny Weir last time, and he also had a bonus bite today. Although it obviously got cut off and he lost it, it was still a bonus bite. So there is something in that, and I do think it is a little bit of an edge and some way of potentially getting bites when maybe you wouldn't otherwise. It seems to sort of really get those fish interested. All those aminos coming out of that chopped worm seems to really get the fish grubbing about. So definitely a bit of food for thought, maybe something you want to try yourselves if you haven't used that sort of thing yet. But yeah, definitely seems to be working for Hugh, so I might have to start getting on it myself. But also something we've been using, which is a new product from DNA, and actually something we're currently running a competition for, and that is the DNA Amino Smoke. So I've got a couple of them here. So I've got the bug and the S7, and this is the Amino Smoke, and this is basically a liquid that soaks into the baits, slowly seeps out of the bait, and offers like a bit of a haze over the top of the baited spot or hook baits or whatever you add it to. And it's really, really attractive, and it's a really nice little edge, to be honest. Now, the bottles it comes in, as you can see, have got a cone on the top of them, which means you can actually punch them into a solid bag direct, squeeze it straight in there, so it keeps it nice and simple, no mess. Very, very good. So I definitely recommend getting on these, and we're actually giving a competition, so you can win one of the S7 and you can win one of the bug, and there are 2 winners, so 2 of you can win one of these each. But all you need to do is go and check out the latest video, which was the one before this one, which is where we went to Thorny Weir, and we announced all the details in there for you guys to win. But yeah, great little additives to put into your mix and on your hook baits and all that sort of stuff. So check them out. But anyway, I think Hugh's pretty much got the rod ready to go. So I'm going to finish the video here talking about the bait, and we'll get back into the session. But yeah, that's what we've been using. Really simple, really effective, and that worm is definitely something to think about. So anyway, let's hope that the fish are up for a bit of food. I think Hugh's going to put a couple of extra spods out there to top it up, and fingers crossed there'll be another bite on the card shortly.
Right then, so as Shaun has mentioned, I've been licking my wounds a little bit, but the head is back on. You can't always blame yourself when you get a cut off. It is just one of those things that sometimes happen in fishing. Now that bite came to one of the pastel orange half-tone 12mm pop-ups in the S7 flavour from DNA. So that's obviously what I've put back out there on a Ronnie rig. So yeah, we're still feeling pretty confident. It's nice to have some sort of occurrence, and yeah, a positive sign that maybe there's some fish out there. Now this is a bit of a bogey water for me, to be honest. I had a couple of fish from here the first time I came up here. I've only done probably a handful of sessions, but yeah, between sort of now and then it's been a bit of a tricky water for me. So maybe the lake is just going to continue sort of giving me those blows, but I'm feeling positive that something's happened. The rod's back out there, and fingers crossed we can have another opportunity before it's time to peel off. So unfortunately it's that time, the end of the session, and yeah, a couple of blanks for us, mate.
Yeah, it is, mate. At least you had a bite, which is obviously a nice sort of positive of the session. Shame obviously you got cut off, but you can't avoid anything like that. I am really surprised we didn't have anything in the night, or at least this morning, as that light was sort of coming through. It just looks so good. There were so many fish showing yesterday, but to be honest, the bailiff actually just come through to go and drop someone off to a swim, and he said that the fish have been showing a lot down here, but no one's really been catching any. They seem to be really active, but not really having much.
Yeah, so no, just sort of the odd fish coming out here and there, rather than any sort of feeding frenzy and people having multiple bites.
Yeah.
So I suppose that helps lick the wounds a little bit as well.
A little bit, yeah.
Having that bite has meant probably we got the tactics right. Maybe we could have switched to zigs this morning. Who knows, really? You can overthink it sometimes, can't you? But yeah. I hopefully you've enjoyed the video and yeah, got something out of it. If you have, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you enter that competition that was announced last week. And I guess until next week, do you want to finish it off?
Get out on the bank, be lucky, and We'll see you in the next video. Next Tuesday, 6:30. Let's get going home, mate.
Let's go in.
Oh, and watch one of these videos. One of these here. Watch one of these. Click on one of these. One of these ones. Bye.